The video is awesome. In fact, have you seen the video? Everybody should see the video. The video is inspiring.
Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Young, Vice President and Central Texas Operations Leader for Jacobs. Jacobs is an engineering and architecture firm that challenges today and reinvents tomorrow by using combined knowledge and imagination of a diverse team to provide solutions for a rapidly changing world. We are grateful for our partnership with the Austin Chamber and the significant work the Chamber does every day to create jobs so people can find meaningful work, to provide for their families, and achieve prosperity in and around Austin. At Jacobs, we see the world as it can be, and we are proud of our significant roles in Austin's growth and success, which is why we are proud to sponsor the Chamber's annual meeting. The work the Chamber does is so important, from economic development to education and workforce development. The Chamber is a trusted resource, and Jacobs is proud to support this good work. On behalf of Jacobs, welcome and thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, everybody. I used to be Kirk Watson, and I know that some of you are out there thinking right now, Kirk, how can we miss you if you never leave? Well, I ain't dead yet, and this is Austin, and this is my home, and so I'm very pleased to be with you today. In fact, I'm very honored to get to be the master of ceremonies for today's Chamber first ever annual meeting. So it's a real nice thing to do. As my good friend, the pride of West Columbia, Gary Farmer would say, I'm just hired and a cat's back. Anyway, we're going to spend the next hour hearing from the outgoing and the incoming chairs of the Chamber. We're going to honor our volunteers of the year and our Austinite of the year. And we're going to learn more about the role that the Chamber of Commerce plays in the community. It's going to be a fun hour, a lot packed into it, and it's going to move pretty fast. I want to say thanks to the great work that the Chamber of Commerce staff has put into bringing this virtual event to you in this really odd year. So sit back, relax, grab your coffee, although I see that it's after 2 o'clock, so it's the afternoon, and I'll tell you what, with COVID, day drinking is really in order. So put on your fuzzy slippers or kick them off and be in your bare feet, but buckle up anyway, because we've got an exciting program. The next thing that's up is you're going to hear from my very good friend and the new Chamber President and CEO, Laura Huffman. As you know, Laura took the reins fairly recently. She took the reins of the Chamber back in April, and that was in the middle of what we'll all remember as probably the biggest goat rope of a year in any of our lives. But since she took those reins, Laura has led this Chamber very well, everywhere from creating the opening Central Texas Task Force to working to create more jobs and opportunity. She's done it with grace. She's guided this organization as it pivoted from in-person meetings and offerings to life like we know it now on Zoom. And one of the things I like most about her is she always finds joy in the service. But first, before you hear from her, we're going to see a little video about what the Chamber does day in and day out.
Well, hello, everyone. I wish we could see each other in person, but here we are on Zoom, and welcome to the Chamber's annual meeting. I want to kick this off by thanking some people that have made this all very possible. First, let's thank our pivotal partners who are Amazon, Ascension Seton, Dell Technologies, PIMCO, and Wells Fargo. And to our foundation and corporate partners, many, many thanks to you as well. And I'd also like to thank the sponsors that made today's events possible. First, our presenting sponsor, Jacobs. Our Austinite of the Year Award sponsor, Bank of America. Our reception sponsor, Amplify. Our Volunteers of the Year Award sponsor, Texas Disposal Systems. And our media partner, Parks Communication. And I'd also like to thank our corporate and supporting sponsors. Well, Senator Watson couldn't have said it any better. It has been a year. As he said, I took on the role as the head of the chamber at probably one of the most interesting times and one of the weirdest years that any of us have ever experienced. And boy, has it been an adventure. And here's what I know. The business community is more than just buildings. The business community is Austin. It's the sum of our business leaders, our workforce, and our customers. The business community is our community. And now more than ever, the chamber is here to make sure that business and the leaders, workforce, and customers that entails succeed. Simply put, the chamber is here to help people live, work, and thrive in Austin. And we could not do that without you. From being involved in our committees and engaged with our events to speaking with our elected officials and advocating on behalf of businesses, all of that matters. You really are the reason that we can serve Austin in such a meaningful way. And it shows, right? Your enthusiasm and your love for our community makes all the difference. I can't talk to any one of you without saying how big your heart is around your love for this community. And it's the reason that even amid this pandemic, the chamber had a bunch of successes in 2020. In April, we led a task force of business and community leaders to guide the conversation about how to reopen our economy while keeping public health top of mind. Nearly 200 of you joined us for these conversations about everything from the digital divide to childcare and remote work accommodations. We made a difference and we kept each other informed. In June, we debuted the City of Us campaign to encourage all of us to wear masks. You can still see this campaign everywhere in our community, from billboards and buses. And we are really fortunate that the brilliant Roy Spence led this effort right alongside our task force and jumped in with no notice at all to do that help. In July, of course, Tesla chose to locate its newest manufacturing facility, Giga Texas, in our region, bringing more than $1 billion in capital investment and 5,000 jobs to Del Valley community. And as my friend Gary Farmer likes to say, we didn't just land a business, we landed a business sector in Austin with Tesla. This project would have been a huge deal no matter what. But in the midst of a pandemic, it was really something special. It even earned the coveted Deal of the Year award for the National Economic Development efforts. That's a big deal for all of us. And in the fall, we joined our sister chambers in promoting our Keep Austin Voting initiative, helping everyone to get informed about what those down ballot races were going to look like, talking to the candidates, and getting all of our members informed so they could make the best vote possible. Our board and our community voted to support Project Connect, which is our mass transit vision that will check the box for site selectors and businesses that desire sound transportation infrastructure when they're thinking about where to locate or expand their operations. And here's what you did. Over 11,000 members in the business community registered for more than 50 digital programs that we put on in 2020. And we continued to bring members together for networking through our mix and mingle events through Zoom. And perhaps most noteworthy for our organization is that 2020 actually broke records for new jobs announced in our region since the inception of Opportunity Austin, which was 2004. So for those of you that are investors in Opportunity Austin, to Gary, to Sharice, to the whole team that works on these efforts, it was a banner year for us and a one that happened during a global pandemic. So good for us. We know that the business community is counting on us, and we promise to continue to put all of our hard work into that to make you proud. And now we're going to look at some chamber trivia.
Laura, congratulations on a great year. And I love the fact that every year the chamber, even in a year like this where we have to do it virtually and we're doing it differently, how the chamber honors the folks that do the volunteer work. Having been chair of the chamber back in the past and worked so closely with the chamber all these years, in a year like 2020, those volunteers and the chamber has gone above and beyond because this has been a different kind of year.
Yeah, they really have, Senator. The volunteers make a world of difference to our staff every single day. And I just want to say a special thank you because many of you reached out to help me transition into this new role. And while we're recognizing a handful of volunteers today, we also want to thank the committee members, board members, ambassadors, and other chamber members who really step up every single day to help us out with expertise or services all throughout the year. So please know how much we appreciate you. And I also want to do a special shout out to our elected officials. There are some folks that retired from service this year, and I want to do a special thank you to those people. So thank you to Congressman Bill Flores, County Judge Sam Bisco, County Commissioner Gerald Doherty, and to you, Senator, a special thanks for all of the service that you have offered this community over so many years. And I also just want to send our heartfelt prayers out to Ron Davis's family. For those of you that haven't read, he passed away last night, and what a gift he has been to this community. So for all of those that have served Austin well, many, many thanks.
Yeah, a special guy, and we're sad about his passing. But I'm also very pleased you mentioned those other three public servants that have retired because you know how much I feel about public service. It's nice for you to say something nice about me. But let's get to those volunteers. Without further ado, let me introduce Leticia Mendoza with Texas Disposal Systems, and she's going to present the awards.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here today. I'm Leticia Mendoza, Director of Marketing and Communications for Texas Disposal Systems. TDS is proud to sponsor the Volunteer of the Year Awards to honor those who have gone above and beyond and served as pillars of support as chamber staff and new leadership made every effort to adapt to the unique needs of this especially challenging year. As a representative of TDS, I want to share our appreciation of these volunteers who have given of themselves to support the needs of the chamber as well as their local communities. I'd also like to recognize and give special thanks to all essential workers, including our TDS employees who have shown up with courage and grace, serving each other and the communities we serve when needed the most. TDS is honored to support the Austin and surrounding communities with environmental services for the past 42 years, and we look forward to continuing our legacy alongside with the Austin Chamber. Ambassador of the Year, Lily Smith. Lily joined the Ambassador Committee at the beginning of 2020 and has shown her commitment to the mission of the program by her fervent participation and willingness to assist with any project. She is a stellar leader and a dedicated committee member who is reliable and approaches any obstacle with a smile. Volunteer of the Year, Austin Gives, Julie Fisher. Julie's relationship with both for-profit businesses and the nonprofit community helped activate the Chamber's vision to assist nonprofits in telling the stories of their business partnerships. She helped bring a talented nomination committee together to make that vision a reality for the Austin Gives Generous Business Awards. Volunteer of the Year, Programs and Partnerships, Monica Fernandez. Monica stepped up to build and lead the largest ever Greater Austin Business Awards nomination committee, activating a diverse group of community leaders. She was instrumental in adjusting award categories and helping build a strong judging matrix while considering the impact of COVID-19 on the business community. Volunteer of the Year, Regional Mobility, Ollie Katov. Ollie was active on the Regional Mobility Committee during Project Connect discussions over the past year and provided keen insights from his professional engineering expertise, as well as personal thoughts on how mobility plays a role in overall regional planning. Volunteer of the Year, Economic Development, Ed Latson. Ed worked alongside the Chamber's Economic Development team to grow the existing manufacturing industry cluster and recruit new manufacturers to the Austin region. He has participated in meetings with prospects and helped galvanize support for the Tesla project. Ed supported the Austin Chamber's efforts during the pandemic by assisting with the distribution of surveys, gathering of information, and dissemination of Chamber communication. Volunteer of the Year, Air Services, Chi Lee. Chi has been an active member on the Chamber's Air Services Task Force, and this year took a leading role in providing the Austin Airport with briefings from Perkins and Will and their partners on design techniques and technologies related to pandemic planning and safety. Volunteer of the Year, Talent, James Mulhall. James pays it forward by leveraging his personal military, academic, and industry experience to provide mentorships and presentations to Central Texas students, reaching out to all levels of the academic community. During this pandemic, he volunteered his time for online career videos to help students who were learning from home. Volunteer of the Year, Education, Jeronimo Rodriguez. Jeronimo generously volunteers his time as a leader on the Chamber's Education Council and DTC 70 Executive Committee, working toward ensuring more Austin students graduate with the skills they need to succeed in our economy. He also served on the Chamber's Opening Central Texas Task Force to provide input and guidance on recommendations to the city and county on issues impacting schools, such as the digital divide and childcare challenges. Volunteer of the Year, Government Relations, Trey Salinas. When the pandemic hit, Trey helped ensure Austin's critical infrastructure businesses were deemed essential, including those that manufactured products that helped combat COVID-19. He worked to establish protocols to ensure safe and secure environments for construction workers at job sites. These sectors provide a foundation for Austin's strong economy, and Trey worked to put Austin in a position to come out of the pandemic stronger than ever. Volunteer of the Year, Global Technology and Innovation, Ellen Wood. Ellen has been a key leader and collaborator for the Global Technology and Innovation team. She brings 20+ years of experience as founder, CEO, and community leader to the table while providing strategic guidance for our global technology and innovation programming. Ellen actively supports the Chamber's work with local investors and founders. Congratulations again to all our volunteers, and a huge thank you for all that you did to support the Austin Chamber in achieving its 2020 objectives.
I echo what Laura said earlier. The Chamber truly could not do its work without its incredible volunteers, and I am proud to have been one of those volunteers this year. It's time for me to mount my proverbial horse and ride off into the sunset, and as I do, I want to reflect on this moment last year. I had an ambitious list of priorities, but as they say, you can map out your life, but do it in pencil. 2020 was not like any we could have imagined. I'm so pleased with the Chamber's response to the pandemic. The Chamber team, under trying circumstances, sprang into action to be a resource to our community. Their work has been impressive, and under Laura Huffman's leadership, they have made a positive impact on the business community in the most difficult time. Through our economic development arm, Opportunity Austin, we facilitate remarkable growth. Army Futures Command continues to benefit our economic growth, leading the efforts to develop vaccines and treatments for COVID, and attracting military-related enterprises like BAE Systems. BAE Systems announced its new Austin campus that is located near the Army Futures Command accelerating the development of new defense technology for the American military. We, of course, must mention Tesla. It chose our region for its next gigafactory, which will bring more than 5,000 jobs and $1 billion in capital investment to an area of our region that needs it most. And during the last week of 2020, Oracle announced the move of its headquarters to Austin, bringing additional thousands of jobs. 2020 was a record-breaking year for job announcements for Opportunity Austin, proving that even in the middle of a pandemic, folks from all over the country recognize Texas' business-friendly climate is where they want to be. This is the Chamber. Prosperity is our mission, to create jobs that help people live, work, and thrive in Austin. This is why the work of the Chamber is so important. It is up to us to defend the policies and tools like economic development agreements and low tax burden that make us attractive to companies. One of the keys to our robust job creation is the talented workforce that Austin has. Our focus on workforce development is second to none. And so before I step off the stage as Chamber Board Chair, I want to add my congratulations to Susan Dawson, this year's Outstanding Austinite. Susan, you exemplify what it means to be Austinite of the Year. Your dedication to our business community and education system has made a difference in our community. You are so deserving of this award. Now, I get to assume the best position of any volunteer organization, immediate past chair, and pass the gavel, so to speak, to someone who knows better than anyone the importance of workforce development, Bank of America Austin Market President Nikki Graham. Nikki has taken the helm in 2021 as board chair. I know she will do some fantastic work on behalf of the business community this year. On top of that, Bank of America has graciously sponsored our Austinite of the Year award this year. Nikki, of course, we can't have a proper passing the gavel without conferring the Chamber socks. Oh, I got it on the wrong side. There you go. Austin and Nikki, here you go. All best wishes, and thank you for stepping up to lead the Chamber in 2021. Nikki, it's your time.
Thank you, Craig. I know I have some big Chamber socks to fill, but I'm excited for the challenge. But before I share my thoughts on the upcoming year, it's time to honor our Austinite of the Year. Bank of America is proud to sponsor this award, the highest honor that the Chamber bestows. Since 1984, the Chamber has recognized Austinites who have had a lasting impact on our city and our community. It's my pleasure to add this year's recipient to the long list of accomplished individuals, Susan Dawson. If you know Susan, most of you do, you know that Susan is an absolute powerhouse. Her grit, determination, and commitment to improving economic outcomes for Central Texans by fighting for systematic change to our education systems will leave an enduring influence on the lives of students and employers who benefit from her work now and in the future. Susan is a Texas entrepreneur, business and civic leader. As a former manufacturing manager for Motorola Semiconductor and president of the Athens Group, an employee-owned consulting firm, in 2001, Susan served as chair of the Austin Chamber. This was a time when the Chamber was bridging the gap between the growing tech sector and traditional business members like banks, law firms, and the like. Then the bubble burst, and Susan found herself explaining why companies were laying off workers and closing down buildings. The challenges of that era led to the creation of Opportunity Austin in 2004. She went on to found and currently leads E3 Alliance, which stands for Education Equals Economics, and has been recognized across the country, transforming education systems through data and collaboration. Whether it's struggling to make her way as one of the few female CEOs of a tech startup, fighting for greater economic outcomes for students from cradle to career, or fighting stage 4 breast cancer, Susan is a mentor and friend to many. She challenges us to be better and do more. To her, no is not an appropriate response. Susan's fight, will, and determination reminds us all, in her words, to stay strong like Hercules and fight through uncertainty. I'm honored today to introduce the 2021 Austinite of the Year, Susan Dawson.
If you have integrity, that says it all. And if you don't have integrity, that says it all. Susan Dawson has integrity, and that says it all.
She is a model for all of us to look up to and to emulate.
My first impression was clearly somebody who wants to be efficient and get something done with her life and for this community.
Susan is living up to all of her potential, and she has never lost sight of who she is. You know, the first time I met her, she was wearing those signature cowboy Lucchese boots. She shows up owning who she is and being excellent.
When you say E3, education equals economics, people think of Susan Dawson.
E3 Alliance was started in 2006, and the hopes and dreams were to improve educational attainment and educational outcomes in Central Texas. And by doing that, that would vault Austin to compete with other American cities, especially around technology.
With E3, she saw that there was a real gap in getting the data-driven knowledge and the resources to the right decision makers so that they could improve systemic outcomes in this entire region. And to be able to identify the right things to focus on and the right levers to pull and the right relationships to build, it's just amazing.
Susan's the person who brought that mandate for knowledge to the table.
Because she founded E3 Alliance, and because she's dogged, fact-based, data-based approach, and persistent, doesn't hear no, the prosperity that people are enjoying right now in Central Texas can be traced back to that momentous moment.
The word that comes to me is just invincible, which sounds cliche, but if you think of it as meaning incapable of being defeated, that's what you see across all these different areas in her for-profit life, in her nonprofit life, in her family life, in her personal, battle against cancer. She just doesn't quit.
She's very public about working through a significant cancer diagnosis.
Susan's handling of her situation with breast cancer is an inspiration to everybody who ever has any difficulties, no matter how severe.
Just hadn't stopped her. It's just like anytime you've got to have someone help you accomplish something you need to have accomplished, Susan's the name that comes to the top.
She is leading an effort to get the Big Pink Bus restarted, which has now been renamed the Susan Dawson Big Pink Bus, and very appropriate for all of the effort and work she's done to address cancer in Central Texas.
If you ever want to get something done, you want a Susan Dawson on your team. And that's what we had. And that's why we are now successfully relaunching the Big Pink Bus. That helps provide critically needed mobile mammography for women who don't have the access to take time off from work and easily go have their mammograms.
She even gotten her doctors involved in addressing cancer together and made the data part of this revolution to really change the way our community screens for and addresses cancer.
To have witnessed the beautiful soul that is Susan Dawson, with everything that's going on for her, make a difference for others while she's going through what she is, I just don't even have words to contextualize that.
She also plans her life, and she plans to make sure that there's time and energy for her husband, her 2 children, her dog. And, that's one thing that I always had a lot of respect for.
You can look at the impact she has had over the past 30 years in this community, and you look at the thriving organization that E3 is today, the other organizations that she's worked with and has left them better, and she has made this city and this region a better place to live, and that type of contribution should be recognized.
Nothing gets her down. She keeps moving forward. And Susan Dawson is qualified to receive this outstanding award as the Outstanding Austinite of the Year.
They always say leadership leaves footprints, and there are many footprints that have been part of Austin's success. But when you look at all those footprints, there are boot prints from Susan Dawson's Lucchese boots that are part of that story.
Many thanks, Nikki, for those kind words. And thank you, Craig, Laura, Kirk, chamber leaders, for this great honor. It's amazing to join the company of these friends and influencers, our Austinites of the Year. Men and a few women who have been honored for their leadership, their dedication to our community, their inspiration. These Austinites and many others across the region have been true role models to me in trying to drive positive change in Central Texas. If this was any other year, I'd be standing up on the stage under the lights, wearing my cowboy boots, looking down at the front table and thanking my parents for the love and support and educational opportunities they've given me. Mom and Hal, Dad and Karen, many thanks. If this was any other year, I'd be hugging all my family, including my amazing and already accomplished children, Clark and Adrian. And especially I'd be hugging my husband, Ken, my love and my foundation, who for 3 decades has given me the support and the space and the time to do what I've done in community, in business, in health, in education. If this was any other year, we'd be all together in a huge hotel ballroom, slapping backs and shaking hands with allies and community co-conspirators and our E3 Alliance family instead of watching each other from afar on small video screens. If this was any other year. Instead, it's a year when over 2 million people, 450,000 in the United States alone, have lost their lives from the worst pandemic in over a century. It's a year when so many have lost their livelihoods, their stability, their homes, when students, especially our most vulnerable students, have become more disconnected from learning than ever before, when so many have recognized for the first time that many across our nation still experience not just injustice, but violence due solely to the color of their skin. It's a year when this precious and fragile experiment we call democracy has come closest, perhaps in our history, to crumbling from the fear and insurrection and violence fomented by some of our own elected leaders. If this was any other year, it would be a simple transition of leadership, adding a name to a list of honorees. But it's not any other year. Instead, it's a year that we must have hope. Not just hope, but more hope than ever before. More relentlessness and determination than ever before. More passion and compassion than ever before. 57 years have taught me that times of threat are when we most need to defend what is right. Times of change are when we have the greatest opportunity to take advantage of the moment. And 2021 will not be like any other year. In 2021, we must be determined to bring vaccines quickly and effectively to everyone, while at the same time taking every precaution we can to keep our communities safe. We must be relentless in closing learning gaps and inequities by driving real systemic change in education. This is the path that I've chosen for myself, but it's a mission that would be impossible without the many partners and supporters, board members, and amazing staff of E3 Alliance. We must close insurance gaps and make high-quality health care available to all. And we must, as never before, build a stronger and more inclusive workforce and economy. Indeed, as Craig said, prosperity and bringing a job to help people live and work and thrive is the mission of the Chamber. But as these new jobs come to Austin, we have a responsibility to provide our own residents the skills and opportunities they need to make it and be part of this prosperity. If this was any other year, we would be celebrating all together. Instead, we're celebrating virtually. But as we celebrate, we must rededicate ourselves to the community and the future we all want to be part of. Together, we can make this a year unlike any other year.
Just great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're looking at all the comments in the YouTube video. I think my favorites are that you were analyzing data before it was cool. And a special shout out from someone for whom you were a cancer Sherpa. You just made a huge impact, and I hope you feel the love and the gratitude that's out there today.
Yeah, congratulations, Susan. You're a special, incredible person, and there's just not enough good we can say about you and what you mean to the community and to some of us on an individual and personal basis. So thank you, and God bless you. And by the way, we have a little surprise for you, Susan. Yeah, there he is.
Looky there.
Well, hey, thanks for the invite to join you. I love this opportunity to just get a second to talk to the chamber. I want to begin, and I'm going to get to Susan here in just a second. But I wanted to begin by just saying thank you to the chamber and expressing just real appreciation from the whole community. You're the chamber in the city that has the lowest unemployment rate in the state and the third lowest in the country. We were one of the first economies to go into one of the last ones to go into the recession, one of the first ones out. And we're seeing that again right now. Austin, I was just seeing a study that said we were one of the 2 top economic recoveries in the pandemic right now. You know, the governor listed a handful of companies that were expanding or relocating in the state, and 3 of them here in Austin: Tesla, Oracle, and Schwab. While we all worked on these things, the chamber had a laboring oar. It does so much for our community, and I just wanted to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the endorsement for Project Connect. I know, like many big ideas, there were differences on that, but to get to a place where 60% of the community voted to do something that we've been looking for decades, and to get that done in the middle of a pandemic, an incredible achievement. And I just want to say I have real high expectations for what's happening right now with the chamber, with the DAA, working with other community partners to lead us toward an implementation schedule solution for ending homelessness, but doing it with an incredibly wide coalition. Anytime we have with the chamber and DAA joining with the Austin Justice Coalition, I think we have a chance of doing something that will actually resolve this challenge for us, and this could be the success that is the big one of all the things that we mentioned, because it's certainly one of our biggest challenges right now. So thank you to Laura and Bill Bryce and Stephen Roberts and the chamber for taking again that laboring oar. Talking about that coalition that gets us to Susan Dawson, so many achievements and so many honors. You know, I had in my notes that she was data-driven before anybody knew what that meant, but also regional before that was cool. And among the first real wide and broad community coalitions in its purest form, and all pointed toward education, the single biggest variable and opportunity to build a strong and equitable economy. One of my personal biggest, greatest heroes and champions in our community. Today, I've got a proclamation. Be it known that whereas, as a successful business entrepreneur turned social entrepreneur, Susan Dawson has led multiple technology firms and currently leads the nationally recognized E3 Alliance. And whereas through her leadership of the E3 Alliance, it has been recognized across the country for its groundbreaking work in systemic change for education. And as chair of the Austin Chamber of Commerce in 2001, Dawson led the board during a difficult period of economic downturn. And whereas through her endurance of stage 4 breast cancer, she has been a leader in working to improve cancer research, prevention, clinical care infrastructure in our region and our state, particularly for those who are underserved. And whereas Susan Dawson has received the Greater Austin Chamber of Commerce's Austinite of the Year Award, the highest honor of the Chamber, now therefore I, Steve Adler, Mayor of the City of Austin, Texas, do hereby proclaim February 3rd of the year 2021 as Susan Dawson Day in Austin, Texas. Susan, congratulations. And thank you.
Susan, once again, from all of us, congratulations, and really, really, really thank you for what you mean to us individually, but to our community. We're very appreciative. You know, these sorts of online sorts of things like this, when we do this all virtually, sometimes it has a little bit too much pomp and circumstance, and it looks, you know, here I am wearing a tie and I can barely tie the thing anymore. But you know, we all put on our pants one leg at a time. Although I'm guessing, even though I can't see you out there, that a bunch of you probably are just wearing running shorts or whatever, and you're wearing your fuzzy slippers. But that's part of the reason we wanted to also, before we hear from our incoming chair, we wanted to have an opportunity to talk to her in a more casual way. And so I got the neat experience of interviewing Nikki Graham in a more casual setting just a few days ago. And now we're going to hear about that. Well, Nikki, congratulations. We're very excited that you're going to be the chair of the Greater Austin Chamber of Commerce. You come rolling into this job at a weird, difficult time, and everybody wants to know about their chair. So I've been given the job of asking you the hard questions. Best queso in Austin?
Oh, best queso. Let's see, Matt's.
Best breakfast taco?
Well, you know, I'm a San Antonio girl, so tacos are a little bit of a thing in Austin, but I'll go with Torchy's, homegrown.
Torchy's, all right. What would your perfect Austin day be like?
Oh my gosh, Austin has so many beautiful days. True Chamber of Commerce days. A perfect day is either to spend it at the lake or out riding my horse who lives off 290.
Oh, that's great. Now, I've been told this is a favorite question among the chamber staff. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh my. You know, I don't think it would be considered a sandwich, and I don't eat hot dogs, so I'm going to go with not a sandwich.
All right, not a sandwich. Well, at some point we're going to have to dig deeper into that and why that is such a hot topic at the Chamber of Commerce. What's the best part of working for Bank of America?
Oh my gosh, I've been at Bank of America for over 27 years, and I just can't think of a better place to work. My favorite part of working at the bank is working with our clients. So we have, as you know, we have clients that we work with in our financial centers, all the way up to the largest corporations in the world. So working with clients is always a great pleasure.
That's a good answer. What is your advice for up and coming young people, young leaders in Austin, Texas?
Well, I'm fortunate to serve on the board of Leadership Austin and have participated in their programs before. And of course, with the chamber, there's so many really fantastic young leaders. And I would just say, don't get frustrated and get in there and attend as many events as you possibly can, network, and be at the table when the decisions are made.
What are you most excited as you start this job? What are you most excited to get to work on as chair of the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, you know, it's a challenging time for us in Austin because there are so many things that are going on, so many positive things, and yet we are recovering from a pandemic. But throughout the last several years, I've really focused on workforce and education. And I think that there is no better time to be focused on that topic because there are a lot of adults who are going to need reskilling for jobs. And there are a lot of young people who have lost some of their education over the last several months. So we've got to get to work. We've got to get businesses involved and make sure that we tackle that head on.
It's exciting. What is your why? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? What motivates you? Where do you find hope?
Well, I'll say what's getting me up right these days is my 18-year-old Jack Russell, who seems to have a joie de vivre that he is going to stay in there till the very last minute. So he's getting me up at night. But What gives me great hope is, there's just so many wonderful things about Austin. And as it continues to grow and thrive, and people choose Austin to live, we have to support all of our newcomers, but also support the communities who have called Austin home for a long time. That includes our businesses and our fellow Austinites. So that's what gets me up every morning.
You're going to be a great chair. I'm excited, and I know everybody else is, and you're going to make the business community proud, Nikki. Thank you for all you do for our community, and thank you for being willing to be the chair of the Greater Austin Chamber of Commerce.
Well, thank you, Senator Watson. Much appreciated. I'll start by saying I'm absolutely honored to be serving as the 2021 chair of the Greater Austin Chamber of Commerce. I fully expected to give this speech and honor our Austinite of the Year in person in front of hundreds of people, but instead I'm here in my home office on video conveying my agenda for what I'd like to accomplish together in 2021. 2020 showed us that no one knows what tomorrow may bring. What I do know is that the Chamber's support of our continued economic recovery is paramount to keeping Austin a great place to live, work, and thrive for all Austinites. We have set records in a year when many other local economies in the country are hurting. The business community is relying on the Chamber to recruit companies, help create jobs, and lead the way in education and workforce development initiatives to ensure we can fill the jobs of tomorrow and continue to build on our strong economy. With the 87th legislative session underway, the Chamber team continues to work with our government leaders and advocate for policies that make sense for business. We need to protect the tools in the toolbox that allow us to recruit highly sought after economic development projects like Apple and Tesla, and we need to maintain the low tax burden that attracts and maintains top talent in our region. And as we've heard from so many of you about public safety, we know you're counting on us to advocate where we can, and we will. Our Public Safety Committee is underway discussing the role the business community can play to ensure we all feel safe and welcome in Austin. Before the pandemic, our past two chairs, Brian Cassidy and Craig Enoch, did some great work with ATX Helps, an organization created with our partners at Downtown Austin Alliance to tackle the issue of homelessness in our community. Those efforts are still underway, and we're continuing to pursue new partnerships to reach our goals in this area. When we talk about the economy, the question of how we align business and education is an important one, and one is near and dear to my heart. To have a strong economy, you need a strong workforce, and to have a strong workforce, you need talent. We want this talent to come directly from our local school districts and higher education institutions. We want Austin area students to succeed after their schooling and be able to fill the jobs we work so hard to bring to Austin. This is how we make Austin the best place to live, work, and thrive. Some businesses are doing very well during this pandemic. To those businesses, we need your help. We need you to be engaged with the Chamber. And we don't just need your time, we need your resources. There's room for everyone to partner with the Chamber to get our important work done. So I'm calling on everyone watching to take action. You can start by making sure your business is a Chamber member and an Opportunity Austin investor. Even a small investment in this organization can go a long way. Go to austinchamber.com/join2021 for information about how to get involved or increase your investment in the Chamber, or recommend an area business that isn't a member currently, but should be. Because remember, keeping Austin's economy on top can't be done in a silo. It'll take all of us. Again, I'm honored to be your 2021 Chamber Chair. I look forward to working with all of you in the year to come.
Well, you can tell we're in good hands with Nikki as chair. I mean, you know you're in good hands when you ask somebody off the cuff, what's the best queso in Austin, and they can come up with Bob Armstrong dip at Matt's. So I feel very good about having her there. And with you as CEO and president and her as chair, I think we're going to have a wonderful year at the Chamber of Commerce.
Thanks, Senator. I do too. I felt really lucky to have Judge Enoch as our chair when I was coming in, and Nikki is already starting some great work. It's going to be a good year for us. I'm really excited about this.
I agree. Now it's time for us to start partying, right?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Well, so it's a little secret. So when I first started talking to Susan about this Austinite of the Year, she was so excited. And all of you that know Susan know that she was a font of ideas. But we wanted to pick something that would be really special for Susan. So I'm really excited that we have Marsha Ball here with us today. And I'm going to ask Stacy Armijo with Amplify Credit Union to talk a little bit more about our reception. Stacy?
Hello and welcome. I'm Stacy Armijo, Chief Experience Officer for Amplify Credit Union. It is our honor to be a sponsor of the Chamber's first ever virtual Austinite of the Year reception. The Chamber and Amplify Credit Union have a lot in common. We care about the community and we're invested in Central Texas success. Here at Amplify, that means we're a safe home for members' money, great loans for their home, and we use the proceeds from that to create a safe place to call home for those without. We're a mission-driven organization just like the Chamber, and it's our honor to support the work in Central Texas and beyond. And it's especially our honor to be part of celebrating one of Austin's finest individuals, the one, the only, Susan Dawson.
This pandemic has changed all our lives, but it's especially wreaked havoc for some in our hospitality and music and performing arts communities. With no concerts or club performances, with very few opportunities to tour, our musicians are especially hurt. 2 decades ago, when I was chamber chair, we launched the I Want You to Hire an Austin Musician campaign because we knew it was so important as the live music capital of the world to support our creative arts and music. And it's especially important today for all of us to support musicians online, and soon we hope in house parties and office parties and once again tours and concerts. That's why today we wanted to bring you the amazing Marsha Ball. Marsha hails from Louisiana and still has the gumbo making chops to prove it, but she's been here in Austin for decades, giving us her superb piano playing and swamp rock Austin blues style. Marsha has won more awards than you can count, been nominated for 5 Grammys, and been inducted into 3 different music halls of fame, including the Austin City Limits Halls of Fame. For those of you who are supporters and donated back your meal fees, the proceeds of those will go to Marsha's nonprofit, Home, housing opportunities for musicians and entertainers. Home provides grant assistance and other support for aging musicians across our community, especially in this time when it's so difficult to give live performances. I'm so happy to give you my friend and inspiration, the amazing Marsha Ball.
All right, Susan, this one is for you, for all you do and all you've done and all you've inspired us to do. Thank you very much and congratulations. As we go around the sun, holding on when the corners come, putting ourselves out on the line, never heed the warning sign, walk into the world ahead, learn everything that's ever been said, see everything that you can find, open up your mind, shine bright, go on and take somebody with you, shine bright, that's how you really live, you shine bright. It's a gift you're giving when you feel the spirit. Step into the light, shine bright. Choose your hero. heroes choose them well. Listen to the stories they tell. Feel the planet go round and round. Moon and stars are coming unwound. Love your neighbor, teach your child. Tighten up the ties that bind. Be here now, now's the time. Open up your eyes, shine bright. Be who you want to be, shine bright. For all the world to see, shine bright. We're making history. Every time we breathe, we're trying to do it right. Carry burden far free. Life is work and work is good. God is love and love is truth. Art is music, music is art. Life's a story, play a part. Doesn't matter who you are. Open up your heart and shine bright. Like the Reverend Martin Luther King. Shine bright. First man on the moon, Neil Armstrong. Shine bright. Number 42, Jackie Robinson. Shine bright. That Mary prankster, Ken Kesey. Shine bright. Soul Queen of New Orleans, Irma Thomas. Shine bright. Texas Governor Ann Richards. Shine bright. The rockin' piano man, Little Richard. Shine bright. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Shine bright. Ooh, yeah. Shine bright. The amazing Stephen Hawking. Shine bright. Suffragette Susan B. Anthony. Shine bright. Oh, yeah. Shine bright. Woo! Sister Rosa Parks, y'all. When you feel the spirit, step into the light. Shine bright.
That was great. Shine bright.
I just love Marsha Ball. In fact, I give her a little bit of credit for, some people might blame her now when I tell this story, me ending up in Austin, Texas. I moved down here for 1 year, and I remember listening to her in the clubs on 6th Street and Huts, and oh man, she's tremendous. That was great. So we're coming to the end here. If you have some time, I hope everybody will join us for some virtual networking. The chamber staff is going to post the link in the comments section, and that'll allow you to go into some virtual networking that we're going to do. Before we go, I do want to say thank you to the chamber staff that helped put this together. They've done a tremendous job, and it's gone flawlessly. And I also want to say again to the Austinite of the Year, Susan Dawson, congratulations and God bless you. To the volunteers of the year that were all recognized, you have our gratitude. To Brother Craig Enoch, Justice Enoch, thank you for your service this past year as chair of the chamber in what was a ridiculous time. Laura, you, Nikki, thanks for your service and good luck to you in this new year. To all of our friends out there in the virtual world that have supported us and joined us here today, stay safe, happy, and healthy. And I think Marsha's now going to take us out.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator.
My pleasure.
Some people call me party dog. Some people call me la-ti-da. 'Cause I like to get dressed up and have a party, y'all. Ooh, yeah, on the land and sea. If there's a party, that's where I'll be. Well, you people try to keep my time. Can't keep it going till I get tired. Woo! La-ti-da, la-ti-da. Yes, it's a party sound. La-ti-da. Well, now everybody party now. Well, you puzzle over every move. You try to figure what's best to do. You think you made it if you got enough fortune or fame. Oh yeah. Well, the happiest I've ever been is when my feet are on the road to sin, and my head's so high I don't even know to be ashamed. Woohoo! La-ti-da, la-ti-da. Yes, it's a party sound. La-ti-da, woo-la-la. Well, now everybody party now. Woo, party, party, party. You're moving so far away. You tell your folks that you're gonna stay, 'cause you got a real good job, oh Lord, and you need a change. Oh yeah. Well, no matter how long you're gone, we're gonna party till you come home. You get back and everything will be the same. Woo, la-ti-da, la-ti-da. Yes, it's a party sound. La-ti-da, la-ti-da. Well, now everybody party now. I say la-ti-da, la-ti-da. Woo, I feel like getting all dressed up, going out on the town tonight. Oh, la-ti-da. Well, everybody feeling right. Oh yeah. La-ti-da. Oh, I say my, 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 little Tina. Oh yeah, yeah. La-ti-da, la-ti-da. Woo, yeah, yeah.